Hey guys, it's Tina and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to sculpt and lift downturned or droopy eyes. You can see I already did this eye and this one I didn't, and you can see a pretty obvious difference. You can see how this eye goes a little bit downwards and it has kind of a shadow down here, and you can see the lash line droops down kind of on the outer edge, and this one is a lot more lifted looking and a little bit more cat eye shaped. So we're gonna see today how it's done. So it's not really a makeup tutorial, although I am using makeup, so I guess it is, but it's not so much of a makeup look is what I'm trying to say, I guess. It's more of how to sculpt the eyes with more neutral shades. Obviously you can do it with any other makeup shades or colors, but I'm just going to show you the technique itself and little tips and tricks on how to make it look a little bit more lifted. So if you want to see how to get from this to that, then just keep on watching. So I always start with priming my lid. I'm using the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Eye Primer on my lid. I always do that just to prevent the eyeshadows from creasing and make them last longer. And then I'm going to use some neutral shades, more like beigey bone colors, like that, and some soap shades that will look more like a shadow, something like this. So I'm going to start with a light toned taupe shade and a fluffy brush. This is a 25 by Sigma. And I'm going to start by applying that into my crease. Now with downturned droopy eyes, what you want to do is start from the inner corner out in windshield wiper motion, going back and forward, but you don't want to reach all the way to the end of the crease. And the reason is, if you go all the way down when you kind of tilt your head backwards or close your eyes, then you're gonna reach this point, and then when you open your eyes, you can see that it's going way past the lower lash line. That's what we don't want to do. To make the eye look uplifted, we want to follow the line of the bottom lash line and continue it imaginary like so. So we don't want to pass this imaginary line. And if you want to stop kind of somewhere around here, so almost like if I did a cross line that goes across my the highest point of my crease like that. So this is where I want to stop, right here. And I'm going to show you, if you see what I'm doing right here, I'm stopping in this point. If I close my eyes, you can see that it goes exactly to the point that meets the imaginary line that continues my bottom lash line. This is where we want to stop. And then when you tilt your head backwards, it looks like you're not reaching the end. That's what we want. I really hope that I make sense. So we're going like that, but not passing this line right here. You can see that I'm not going all the way down. You can see that droopy eyes have a kind of natural shadow right here anyways, so we don't want to emphasize that, because that is just going to emphasize the droopiness of the eye. Once I reach that point, I'm going to continue it across and outwards, just like this. And at that point, you can also open your eye and just eye it and see how you kind of smudge the shadow outwards, again without passing this imaginary line that continues the bottom lash line. Once I did that, I'm going to move on to some light shades. I'm going to take a flat brush this time. This is the Sigma E55, and with a bone color, I'm going to apply that all over my eyelid, up to the crease like that, and just cover it all the way like so. With a lighter shade, I'm also going to highlight my eyebrow just to lift it a little bit more and create that space in between the lid, the crease, and the brow bone. That just makes it look a lot more dimensional and makes the space look a little bit bigger, like so. And now another very important trick is to eliminate that natural shadow that we were talking about that droopy eyes usually have. So I'm going to take a light and a bone shade and just apply it under the lower lash line like that. So if I imagine this imaginary line that continues the bottom lash line, I'm just applying that light shade right underneath that line. And you can see how that cleans the shadow and makes the eye look lifted. Even without us applying any dark shadow under the eye, you can see how that brightens and illuminates that eyeshadow. Like that shadow, the natural eye shadow. And that way it already makes the eye look a lot more lifted because we applied some darker shade right here across. It makes the eye look like it goes upwards like that and creates more of a cat eye shape. Now I'm going to take a little bit deeper of a taupe shade and a brush that's a little bit more precise but still fluffy. This is E45 by Sigma. And with a darker taupe, I'm going to emphasize the crease, this time being a little bit more precise and closer to the crease itself to kind of separate the eyelid from the crease. And again, I'm stopping right there, as we said, and just swooping it outwards. You can open your eye and see how that goes and just swoop it outwards like that. Then I'm going to take the same eyeshadow under the lower lash line, focusing mostly under the lower lash line, then on this outer edge, just kind of connecting it and swooping it very, very lightly outwards like that. Now, right here, you don't want it to be too light because that again is pushing the eye downwards. So to lift it and open it, you want to create, because if you do that, you can see that this is the look that we're going for. And if you do that, you can see exactly where you need the shadow to be. You need the crease look like it goes upwards. You need this part to look lighter in between them. You need this part to look darker and the shadow to go all the way up here. So when you lift it, this is what you want to create. So we're going to darken this part right here, very close to the tail, to the very tip end of the eyebrow. Darken it right here. Then create a darker shade right in the crease that goes upward. Exactly as you've seen that happens when you pull your eye tight like that upwards. And then this part is dark. And now we need the light that's in between. You can see that. So that's what we're going to create with a smaller brush. I'm going to take a very small, tiny E20 brush by Sigma. And I'm going to just continue the color that's on the lid outwards right here on this outer edge, like so. So we're kind of continuing and making the illusion of a longer, more continuous eyelid area that goes right here. And then again, make sure to clean under the lower lash line like that. Now you can see that the crease looks like it's going upwards, the bottom lash line looks like it's going upwards, and then the eyelid is more uplifted looking like this. Then another trick is the lash line itself. You can see with droopy eyes that it goes upwards, reaches to a point in the center, and usually it's parallel to the eye pupil, like right here, and then it goes down. So what we want to do is to lift it. And the way we want to do it, if we're going with the eyeliner all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner and just doing that, it just emphasizes the shape, the actual droopy shade of the eye. So what we want to do, this part is okay, but here, from here, it goes down. So we want to take a black eyeshadow with a very small, tiny eyeliner brush to be really precise. And then from that point, we want to make an illusion that the lash line continues upwards or almost like straight up, and that's what's going to make it look a little bit more uplifted. So I'm going only from the center of the eyelid straight across, and again I'm stopping at that point, because if I will go all the way down here when I open my eye, you can see that it's going way too far below the imaginary line that we don't want to pass. So I'm going to stop right here and then wing just a little bit upwards. That's going to make the lash line look a little bit more uplifted like that. This is the eyeliner shade that we want. And then I'm just going to sweep it, open my eye, look straight across to the mirror and sweep it. And you can see that it looks like it's connecting with the bottom lash line, although it really doesn't. It just goes from here. But because we have this this natural shadow, it looks like it does. So I'm just opening my eye, looking straight to the mirror, and just sweeping the eyeliner upwards like this. Now for the lashes, it's very important to curl your lashes. If you can do this step, that will help because you want the lashes look lifted and opened a little bit more. And for the mascara, I'm going to avoid the several lashes that are on the outer corner, because these are going a little bit downwards again because of the natural shape, droopy shape of the eye. So I'm going to apply mascara on all of my lashes except of these end ones that tend to go downwards throughout the day after we curl them. And also I'm going to take the lashes in the direction of like outwards like that, kind of pulling them in a cat eye form. I'm not going to apply a lot of mascara because this is more about shading. If you want a more natural look, you can totally skip the mascara altogether. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you that I like to pull them outwards in a diagonal way like that. So like tilted. You can see what I'm talking about, right? And then I'm avoiding applying mascara on the very outer lashes, on the outer corner, to not make it look too droopy. Like so. The last bit of a trick that I want to show you is the inner corner. If we make the inner corner look like it's going downwards, then we have a kind of a contrast effect, and it creates the illusion that if this one goes downward, it creates the illusion that the outer corner is going a little bit upwards, because then it looks kind of tilted, if that makes sense. So to make the outer corner look like it's going upwards, we need to make the inner corner look like it's going downward. That's what creates this slanted cat eye shape. So what I'm going to be doing is taking a little bit of a black eyeshadow, or you can use eyeliner, on a very thin brush, and apply it very, very close to the lash line, right here on the inner corner, like this. You can see that creates kind of a cat eye right here. And then again, to create that contrast, I'm going to take a little bit more of a frosted champagne shade under the lower, kind of the inner tear duct area right here. That opens the eye and creates the contrast that makes the eye look tilted. And if I have a little bit on the brush, I might as well apply a little bit under the very arch of the eyebrow just to lift it up a little bit. And that is the finished look. You can see that the shadow is focused on the very upward corner of the eyes. We have very clean and light, bright line under the eyes, so that creates that uplifted shape. And also we avoided the very outer corner lashes, and it doesn't look like it, right? But that's because these lashes go a little bit more downwards past the imaginary line that we don't want to pass. So the trick is just to keep everything above this imaginary line that continues the bottom lash line. That way you create a more uplifted look to your eyes. So that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed and that you find this video helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up on the way out, and click the little red button under this video to subscribe, and the little bell button to get notified every time I upload a video, which is twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Make sure to comment, let me know what more videos or tips or tricks you want to see from me in the future, and I just might do a vlogmas this year. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, that is it. So I'm going to talk to you all on Tuesday.